And a very good evening, everybody. I'm John Cole. We hope you get a chance to get some fishing in this holiday weekend. Now, Johnny Candle has been fishing for a long time, and he's a Hall of Famer for a reason. So if there was one lure that this Hall of Famer had to pick as his favorite, what would it be? Here's LT and Johnny with the answer.
When you walk into your favorite tackle store, there are rows and rows and rows and rows and rows and rows of things that you can catch a fish with. In today's Pros Pointer, we're giving Johnny Candle just one option.
If I'm forced to tie one piece of tackle to the end of my fishing line for the rest of my life, it's going to be a plain lead head jig. The reason for this is because I truly believe it's the most versatile piece of tackle on the face of the earth. And here's why. I can tip this jig with a minnow, I can tip it with a leech or a nightcrawler. I can tip it with a curly tail, I can tip it with a straight tail, I can tip it with a paddle tail. I can fish it vertically, I can cast it, I can drag it on the bottom, I can troll it, I can fish it aggressively, or I can leave it set perfectly still, and it's going to catch me a fish. And if that doesn't make it the most versatile piece of tackle on the planet, I don't know what does. And if you're gonna force me to pick one thing, I'm getting jiggy with it. I'm Johnny Candle, and that's this week's Pros Pointer.
Next week, Johnny talks about a piece of fishing equipment that was invented by a guy from Bismarck.
All right, guys, tight lines. Bill Triplett has gone to Sweden for 5'11" wing Stina Sattergaard. She was named the MVP of the U19 Final Four by averaging 13.5 points a game, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Triplett, who's currently in Hawaii coaching the Montana All-Star team, says she's long, athletic, and has a good feel for the game. Twins trying to take the rubber game of their 3-game series with the Marlins and head home for a long homestand with a win. Let's go to the Sunshine State, see how it went. No score. Bottom of the first, Austin Ramirez. Looks like Manny Ramirez. He's going to come up with a 2-run bomb off David Festa. 3-zip Marlins already. Then in the third, Jesus Sanchez goes up the middle, runs, going to score. So it's 4-zip, top of the 7th. Good to have Minnesota's Mr. Baseball, Matt Wallner, back in the lineup because he gives him some pop. A long solo shot, going goodbye. That made it 4-1, but that was their lone run. So the Marlins win the series 2-1. The Twins have scored all of 3 runs over 3 games, so they'll be glad to get home. They got to get this thing turned around and quick. A reminder, 6-man All-Star football game will be played tomorrow night in Lambert, 8 p.m. Central Time. North Dakota versus Montana for bragging rights. Sounds like a great way to celebrate the 4th. Go out there and have a good time. Dakota Classic Modified Tour pulls into Williston next Tuesday, July 8th, and that, of course, is always a fan favorite. After dropping 2 to Minot last night, Birds are off for the holiday weekend, back home on the 8th. That's Tuesday against Fargo Post 2. Game times 5 and 7. Of course, Williston's Boys of Summer will be the host team for the state tourney, so no long road trips to Fargo at Bismarck. And that's always a good thing. That begins July 28th and runs through August 2nd. And always great with the opportunity to show our beautiful Offutt Stadium to the rest of the state. All right, Williston Oilers will be in action on Sunday at Glendive. Game times 3 and 5 p.m. That's Mountain Time. On Friday the 11th, they will be the host team for the First State Bank Classic, and that always is a fun run as well. And that will run through the 13th, and we're going to take a timeout on First News at 10.